Have you ever told yourself, "I'll start when the time is right"? That one phrase, that innocent delay, might be the single biggest thing silently killing your potential. Because here's the brutal truth: the perfect time is a myth. It doesn't exist. You're waiting for something that's never going to show up. Life isn't a movie set where the lighting gets fixed, the music swells, and the moment magically arrives to tell you, now is your time. No, life happens in the chaos, in the mess, in the noise. The people you admire, the ones building legacies, they didn't wait for clarity, they moved despite the fog. They took action with trembling hands. They made decisions while scared out of their minds. And that's what separates them. Not perfection, not readiness, courage. And every day you wait, you're making a choice. You're choosing fear over faith, comfort over courage, delay over destiny. You think you're being careful, but you're actually being controlled. Controlled by an illusion that someday all your doubts will vanish. The money will be right, the energy will be high, the stars will align. But what if that someday never comes? What if this messy, uncertain, awkward moment is the only window you get? Will you let it close? Will you keep rewriting the same plan with no execution, just to feel productive without producing? That's what waiting does, it tricks you into feeling safe, when really, it's just stealing time. And time is the one thing you never get back. You can lose money and earn it back, lose relationships and build new ones. But time? It's gone the second you hesitate. And the scary part? You might not even notice it slipping away until it's too late. 1 week becomes a month becomes a year becomes 5, and suddenly you're staring at the mirror, wondering why you're still in the same place, with the same dreams, collecting dust inside your chest. That version of you, the one who could have been something, built something, become something, they're dying a little more each time you say maybe later. So stop lying to yourself. Stop using perfection as a disguise for procrastination. You don't need more time. You need more courage. You don't need more clarity. You need more action. Because action creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. Progress creates passion. But none of it begins until you decide. Decide to start ugly. Start scared. Start without a full plan. Just start. Because life doesn't reward the one who waits, it rewards the one who dares. You will never feel fully ready. And that's okay. You're not supposed to. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. A decision to step forward while your knees shake. A decision to bet on yourself, even when the odds look rough. The pain of starting now is far less than the pain of regret that will come if you don't. That regret? It's silent. It doesn't yell. It whispers late at night when no one's around, reminding you of what you could have done, who you could have become. That's the cost of waiting for perfect. And it's too high. You're not too young. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just scared. And fear is normal, but don't let it drive. Fear is a passenger, not the captain. Let it ride, but never let it steer. Today, not tomorrow, is your best chance, because every second you hesitate, someone else is using that same second to get closer to the life you keep dreaming about. Someone out there is less talented, less prepared, but more willing, and that's why they're winning. Not because they're better, but because they began. So here's your moment. Not because the conditions are perfect, but because you're done waiting, done watching life pass by, done telling yourself the same tired excuse. You're going to act, you're going to move, you're going to step forward with faith, and you're going to mess up, but you'll learn, you'll adapt, you'll grow. That's how you win, not by being perfect, but by being relentless, by refusing to wait for ideal conditions that never come. This is your alarm clock, your wake-up call, your sign. Don't hit snooze on your future. Don't ask, what if I fail? Ask, what if I never try? Because the pain of discipline lasts seconds, but the pain of regret lasts forever. So choose action, choose boldness, choose now. The life you want is on the other side of your decision to begin, and the clock is ticking. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "It's because of them, if only they hadn't, if only they helped me"? If so, you're not alone. It's human nature to look outward when things go wrong. But here's a cold truth no one wants to admit: as long as you're blaming others, you're handing them the power to control your future. Think about it: every time you blame someone else, you give them the steering wheel of your life. You say, "Here, you drive. My success, my growth, my peace, it's all in your hands now." That's not just toxic, it's tragic, because the more you blame, the more you shrink. You start to believe that your situation is fixed, that nothing will change unless someone else changes first. And you start to live small, defensive, bitter, powerless. But what if you could flip that? What if instead of pointing fingers, You pointed inward, not with shame, but with strength. Owning your life doesn't mean taking blame for everything. It means taking responsibility for how you respond. And that difference changes everything, because blaming others might feel good in the moment. It protects your ego. It justifies your pain, but it also keeps you stuck. Growth begins the second you stop saying, "They did this to me," and start asking, "What can I do about it now?" That's when your power comes back. That's when transformation begins. Look, people will hurt you. They will lie, betray, disappoint, abandon. That's part of life. But pain is not permission to stay broken. It's not a hall pass to waste your potential. You can acknowledge what they did without letting it define you. You can say, "Yes, that happened, but I still get to choose who I become now." Because real freedom isn't about getting apologies, it's about breaking the mental chains that keep you waiting for them. Some of you are waiting for closure that's never coming, waiting for validation, for justice, for them to say, "I'm sorry," but that wait is stealing your time, your energy, your life. Stop letting people who hurt you continue to hurt you through your thoughts. Take your power back. Forgive, not for them, but for your own freedom. Let go, not to forget, but to move forward. Stop telling the same story of how they failed you. Write a new one about how you rose anyway. Blaming others keeps you stuck in the past. Responsibility pulls you into the future. One gives you excuses, the other gives you options. And here's the secret: no matter how real the injustice was, no matter how wrong they were, blaming them won't heal you. Only ownership can do that. The moment you say, "This is my life and I'm taking it back," you shift from victim to victor. You stop waiting for the world to change and start becoming the kind of person who changes their own world. You stop needing perfect conditions, perfect people, perfect support, and you rise from within. That's how leaders are born. Not in comfort, not in fairness, but in the moment they decide to stop blaming and start building. Your future is not in their hands. It never was. It's in yours. And yes, it's scary, because responsibility is heavy. It means there's no one left to point at, no one left to blame, just you, your choices, your mindset. But guess what? That's exactly why it's powerful. Because now you're free. Free to grow, free to evolve, free to break cycles, free to become everything they said you couldn't. That freedom doesn't come from justice, it comes from ownership. So if you want your future back, stop renting space in your mind to people who broke you. Stop giving credit to those who doubted you. Their chapter is over. This is your story now, and your next chapter doesn't need their permission. All it needs is your decision. So decide today, no more blaming. Not your parents, not your ex, not the government, not your boss. No more waiting for someone else to fix it. You fix it, you rise, you become, because when you take ownership, you take control, and control is the key to freedom. Real freedom, the kind that no one can steal, no matter what they do, the kind that builds unshakable confidence, the kind that lights fires where others see ashes. That's what happens when you stop blaming and start building. You're no longer at the mercy of your past. You become the author of your future. You become dangerous, not to others, but to limitation. You start walking with power, because you finally understand that nothing can stop you except you. And that realization? That's the beginning of a new life. A powerful life. One where you're no longer explaining your pain, you're using it. No longer stuck in stories, you're rewriting them. No longer surviving, you're conquering. So delete the habit of blame. It's not just unproductive, it's a betrayal of your potential. Step into ownership, step into power, and watch your entire future shift. Do you ever wonder where your time is going? That feeling of running through the days, endlessly busy, yet moving nowhere, stuck in the same spot while life rushes past like a train you keep missing. Let me tell you something you won't want to hear. It's not that you don't have enough time, it's that you're giving it away to distractions that don't deserve it. We live in a world that profits from your focus, fights for your attention, and celebrates your addiction. Social media, endless scrolling, binge watching, gossip, meaningless arguments, chasing instant gratification. These aren't harmless habits anymore. They're traps that are stealing your destiny 1 minute at a time. And you don't even realize it because distraction feels good in the moment. It gives you escape, a dopamine hit, the illusion of progress. But behind that pleasure is a hidden cost, your potential. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Time is the only currency you can't earn more of. Once it's spent, it's gone. And if you're spending your best hours numbing your mind instead of building your future, you're not just wasting time, you're betraying your own greatness. The life you dream of doesn't die in one big moment, it dies in small decisions. One scroll, one episode, one "I'll do it later." And over time, Those small choices shape a life that's full of regret, not results. You tell yourself you'll get serious tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into years. And one day, you wake up realizing the version of you who had fire, purpose, and ambition, he's gone, buried under distraction. And it wasn't the world that took him. You gave him away, piece by piece, because you didn't protect your attention. You didn't guard your time like the treasure it is. You thought discipline could wait. But the truth is, the longer you feed distraction, the weaker your focus becomes. Your mind adapts. It forgets how to sit in silence. It forgets how to push through boredom. It forgets how to think deeply. You become a slave to the next ping, the next like, the next shiny object. And you can't build an extraordinary life with a distracted mind. Success requires deep focus. It demands presence, effort, and time. And distraction robs you of all three. So if you're serious about changing your future, you need to get radical. Cut the noise. Unfollow what doesn't serve you. Turn off the background chaos. Create space in your mind for vision to grow. Because when your mind is cluttered, your life is chaotic. But when your mind is focused, your future becomes clear. The world is full of average people living average lives because they made average choices. They chose comfort over growth, distraction over discipline, reaction over intention. Don't be one of them. Be the one who breaks free. Be the one who says, enough, because no one is coming to rescue your time. No one will block your distractions for you. No one will hand you your purpose on a silver platter. That's your job, your responsibility. And it starts now, not later, not when you're in the mood. Now. Every minute you waste is a minute your future self will wish he had back. Think about that. Imagine looking back one day and realizing you were inches away from the life you wanted, but you traded it for temporary entertainment. That pain is real, but you can avoid it if you act now. Choose silence over noise, purpose over pleasure, long-term over instant. Build a schedule and protect it. Build a system and live it. Because once your mind is trained for focus, nothing can stop you. You'll start moving with clarity. You'll start producing instead of consuming. You'll realize how much power you were giving away and how unstoppable you become when you take it back. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. Delete it, fight it, and choose to be different. Because the life you want is still possible, but only if you decide to show up for it fully. No more wasting time. No more excuses. The clock is ticking and your future is waiting. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone like they didn't just take your energy? They took your fire, your belief, your momentum? That's not a coincidence. That's not just a bad vibe. That's a signal, a warning that your environment is poisoning your potential. You can have the greatest mindset, the clearest goals, the strongest ambition, but if you're surrounded by people who doubt, distract, or disrespect your growth, your future is under attack. Negative people aren't always loud or obvious. Sometimes they're the quiet voices that laugh when you dream big. The subtle critics who plant seeds of doubt in your mind. The ones who claim they just want what's best for you, but always seem to pull you backward. They don't believe in growth because they've settled. They don't want you to change because it threatens their comfort. And if you're not careful, you'll start shrinking to make them feel better. You'll start playing small to avoid conflict. You'll lower your standards to keep the peace. But what kind of peace is that if it costs you your future? Your environment matters more than you think. It's shaping you every single day. If you spend enough time around negativity, it becomes normal. You start thinking like them, speaking like them, living like them. You absorb their energy. You inherit their fears. And without realizing it, you become someone you don't even recognize. The scariest part? You won't even know it's happening until it's too late. Until you wake up one day, far from the path you were meant to walk, wondering how you lost your hunger, your focus, your fire. This isn't just about friendships. It's about survival. Your future self depends on who you let sit at your table today, so be ruthless with your circle. Be honest about who's helping you rise and who's holding you down. Loyalty is not an excuse to stay stuck. Just because someone's been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve a front row seat in your future. Growth requires separation. Elevation demands isolation. And the price of greatness is often walking away from good enough. You have to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your energy is your fuel. Your thoughts are your compass. And the people you allow close to you, they either refill your tank or drain it dry. If every conversation leaves you questioning yourself, if every interaction chips away at your belief, then you're in the wrong room. Stop shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. Stop explaining your vision to people who've never seen that far. You're not arrogant for wanting more. You're not selfish for protecting your peace. You're just aware that who you become is heavily influenced by who you're around. That's not theory. That's reality. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. So if you want to change your life, change your circle. Surround yourself with believers, with doers, with people who push you, stretch you, challenge you to rise. Find those who celebrate your growth, not resent it, those who hold you accountable, not enable your comfort. And if you can't find that kind of tribe right now, become your own. Walk alone, build yourself in silence, and watch the right people come into your life as you elevate, because when you level up, your circle naturally upgrades too. But that doesn't happen if you're still holding on to dead weight. That doesn't happen if you keep giving energy to relationships that keep you small. The hard truth is this: some people are only meant for a chapter, not the whole book. And if you keep rereading the same chapter, you'll never write the one you're supposed to live. You owe it to yourself to move on, not with bitterness, but with clarity, not with hate, but with purpose. Protecting your energy doesn't make you cold, it makes you wise. It means you understand the cost of letting the wrong people stay too close. It means you value your peace more than their comfort. You want to save your future? Start editing your environment. Start cutting the noise. Start distancing yourself from the people who aren't building with you, because every moment you waste with them is a moment stolen from your purpose. And your purpose is too important to leave unguarded. Your future is too valuable to share with people who don't believe in it. Build a circle that breathes life into you. A circle that reminds you of who you are when you forget. A circle that doesn't let you quit. That's not just a luxury, that's a necessity. Because you will have moments of doubt. You will face setbacks. You will want to give up. And in those moments, your environment will either catch you or crush you. Choose wisely. You can't build a powerful life on weak relationships. You can't soar with people who are afraid of heights. Delete the noise, elevate the standard, and make room for people who reflect your future, not your past. Have you ever caught yourself waiting? Waiting for the right time, the perfect conditions, the ideal circumstances to finally start chasing your dreams or making that big change? You're not alone. It's one of the most common traps the mind falls into: a silent thief stealing your future while you stand still, convinced that if you just wait a little longer, everything will align perfectly. But here's the truth that no one tells you: the perfect moment will never come. It doesn't exist. Waiting for perfection is the fastest way to lose time, to waste years, to bury your potential beneath excuses and hesitation. The world moves on while you stay stuck in the illusion that someday, somehow, conditions will be just right. But life doesn't pause for anyone. It doesn't hold a special seat for the hesitant. The longer you wait, the further your dreams drift away, and the heavier your regrets become. Imagine standing at a crossroads where every second you delay is a chance slipping through your fingers. Every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. A moment you could have used to build, to grow, to take one step closer to the life you want. It's not about having everything figured out or being fully prepared. It's about starting with what you have, right where you are, imperfect and uncertain, and moving forward despite the fear. The people who succeed aren't those who waited for the stars to align. They're the ones who forged their own stars, who embraced the chaos, the discomfort, the unknown, and kept going anyway. Waiting for the perfect moment is a lie your mind tells you to protect you from failure, from risk, from pain, but that lie keeps you trapped in mediocrity, frozen in time while others rise and conquer. You might tell yourself, I need more experience, or I'll start after I finish this, or once I have the money, the right connections, the confidence. But these are just disguises for fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And guess what? Fear is always going to try to stop you, but waiting feeds fear. Every day you hesitate, fear grows stronger, your doubts multiply, and your vision dims. But action, no matter how small, diminishes fear. Movement breeds momentum. Progress fuels courage. The moment you stop waiting and start doing is the moment fear loses its grip. That's when your future begins to shift. That's when you start becoming the person you admire. Think about every great story, every success you've ever admired. None of them started in perfect conditions. There were doubts, setbacks, failures, and incomplete plans, but they started. They took imperfect action. They learned by doing, adjusted on the fly, and refused to give up. Waiting for the perfect moment is the biggest thief of your dreams because it tricks you into thinking you're protecting yourself from failure when you're really surrendering to it. It's easy to say you'll start tomorrow because tomorrow feels safe, distant, manageable, but tomorrow turns into next week, then next month, then next year, and suddenly, you realize you've wasted time you can never get back. Time that should have been your most valuable asset has been spent standing still. You have to understand this: there is no perfect time to change your life. There is only now, the moment you decide to act, despite uncertainty, despite fear, despite imperfection, is the moment you break free from the paralysis of waiting. That moment might be uncomfortable, it might be messy, it might come with failures, but it will also come with growth, with learning, with progress. It will come with the undeniable truth that you are capable of more than you believed. You will realize that the perfect moment was never out there, it was inside you all along, waiting for you to choose courage over comfort, action over hesitation, progress over perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment is not just a bad habit, it's a silent killer of potential. It robs you of experiences, relationships, and achievements you could have had. It steals your confidence, because confidence doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. Every step you take, every risk you face, every mistake you make builds that confidence, but you can't build what you refuse to start. So stop waiting, stop convincing yourself you're not ready, because the truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready, you'll never have all the answers, but you will have this moment. And this moment is a gift. Use it. Take that first step today, no matter how small. Send that message, write that page, make that call, create that habit. The future you want begins with the decisions you make right now. Waiting for the perfect moment is the enemy of progress. It's the voice telling you to settle for less, to stay safe, to conform. But you are meant for more. You were born to break boundaries, to challenge limits, to redefine what's possible. And the only way to do that is to start now. Embrace the imperfection, the uncertainty, the fear. They are signs you're moving in the right direction. They mean you're alive, you're growing, you're fighting. Waiting for the perfect moment is easy. Starting now is hard. But the hard road leads to freedom, to achievement, to a life you don't have to escape from. Imagine looking back years from now, not with regret over what you didn't do, but with pride over everything you dared to try, everything you fought for, everything you created. That vision is yours to claim, but only if you stop waiting and start moving. The clock is ticking. Your dreams aren't going to wait forever. Your future self is begging you to act today, to step into your power, to live deliberately. Don't let fear or doubt steal your life's best moments. Don't let waiting become a lifetime sentence. You're stronger than your excuses, braver than your hesitation, more capable than you know. So start now, right now. No perfect moment needed. Just you, your courage, and the first step toward the life you deserve. Your future is waiting, but it won't wait forever.